The first time Elias broke, it was on a Tuesday. Rain hammered the bus depot, engines growled, and his phone buzzed with another rejection, 12 applications. 12 polite no's. He laughed, a little too loud, then folded forward, heart punching his ribs. A security guard told him to move. He stepped into the rain, not knowing that this moment between the smell of diesel and wet concrete was where everything would begin to change. 3 months earlier, Elias had believed speed was everything. Hustle. Grind. He burned through mornings like matches and nights like fuel, starting projects at midnight only to abandon them by dawn. He chased huge breakthroughs but ignored the small, dull work. When things stalled, he just pushed harder, not smarter. It made for dramatic days and empty weeks. Soaked and numb after the bus depot, Elias went home and stared at a hairline crack in his wall. He didn't make a big vow. He didn't write a manifesto. He just did one small thing. He opened a notebook, wrote the date, and underneath it, a single question. What is the next smallest useful action? Then he answered it with one sentence. Rewrite the opening paragraph of the proposal. He set a timer for 10 minutes. When it rang, he stopped, even though he wanted to keep going. He closed the notebook. That was it. No fireworks. No grand transformation. Just a question, an answer, and 10 minutes of effort. The next day, he did it again. A different answer. Email Mara with a clearer summary. 10 minutes. Stop. The third day, he almost skipped it. But he sat down and wrote, outlined the demo steps. 10 minutes. Stop. It felt stupid. Insultingly small. He'd spent years swinging for home runs, and now he was just bunting. On day 7, his brain rebelled. This won't work, it screamed. You're wasting time. Elias wrote the question anyway. He answered it anyway. He set the timer anyway. The habit didn't care about his feelings. 2 weeks in, something strange happened. The work no longer felt like a cliff face to be scaled. It felt like a path of stones across a river. Still challenging, but crossable. He noticed his shoulders weren't permanently attached to his ears anymore. He stopped needing to feel inspired to begin. The habit was simple. Every day, answer the question and do the thing for 10 minutes. No exceptions. One day, the smallest useful action was painful. Delete the feature that doesn't work. He hovered over the code, heart thudding. 10 minutes later, it was gone. The system ran cleaner. He felt a surprising sense of relief. Another day, it was personal. Apologized to Jonah for ghosting. 10 minutes later, the message was sent. An hour later, a reply came back. Thanks. I was wondering what happened. Momentum didn't roar into his life. It whispered. At the end of the month, Elias met Mara at a cafe. She had been polite but distant for weeks. He slid his laptop across the table. I cut it down, he said. Then I cut it again. She scrolled, paused, then scrolled back up. This is clear, she said, surprised. What changed? She asked. He thought of the notebook, the timer, the 10 minutes that felt too small to matter, but somehow mattered more than anything. I stopped trying to be impressive, he said. I just tried to be useful. She closed the laptop. Send me the latest version tonight. That night, his smallest useful action was obvious. The habit started to spread. He stopped checking his phone first thing in the morning. He wrote his question before his coffee. Some days the answer was ambitious. Most days it was boring. He did it anyway. When panic flared up about money or time, the habit became his anchor. 10 minutes was always possible. 10 minutes didn't require courage, only compliance. The world didn't change overnight, but Elias noticed he was no longer stuck. Stuck had been his real enemy, not failure. 3 months after the bus depot, his demo crashed 5 minutes before a call with potential partners. The old Elias would have spiraled, tried to fix everything at once and apologized a dozen times. Instead, he opened his notebook. What is the next smallest useful action? Restart the service and isolate the failing module. 10 minutes. He didn't finish, but he found the problem. On the call, when the glitch appeared, he said calmly, "Give me a second." He fixed it. The demo ran perfectly. The partners leaned forward, impressed. After the call, Elias didn't celebrate. He just wrote tomorrow's question. Success, when it came, didn't feel like a lightning strike. It felt like capacity. He could hold more without breaking. More responsibility, more uncertainty, more work that actually mattered. People noticed. "You're so consistent now," his friend Jonah said. "You seem grounded," Mara told him after signing their agreement. Elias didn't explain. The habit wasn't a philosophy to be debated. It was a practice to be done. Then came the real test. 6 months in, his backup funding fell through. On a Friday night, alone in the office, he got the news. For a long minute, he just sat there. The old reflex twitched. Burn it all down. Start over. Push harder. Faster. His chest tightened. But he reached for the notebook. What is the next smallest useful action? The answer, her. Update the budget and cut one expense. 10 minutes. Numbers. Reality. When the timer rang, he wanted to throw the notebook across the room. Instead, he just closed it and went home. The next day, he did it again. Emailed the team with the revised plan. 10 minutes. Honesty. Calm. The team stayed. The habit did something else, quietly and without asking permission. It taught him to trust himself. Not his fleeting moods or his bursts of confidence, but the person who showed up every day, set the timer, and did the work, heroic or not. A year after that breakdown at the bus depot, Elias found himself back there, waiting for a late ride. The same rain, the same smell of diesel. A kid a few seats down was staring at his phone, shoulders slumped. Rejection has a posture. Elias recognized it instantly. The kid sighed, loud enough to be heard. "I don't know what I'm doing wrong." Elias considered offering a pep talk. Instead, he just pulled out his own notebook. The kid watched, curious. "What's that?" he asked. Elias smiled. "A question." His bus arrived, and as he stepped on, the kid called out, "What question?" Elias paused on the step. "What's the next smallest useful action?" The doors folded shut. Inside, watching the city lights streak past, Elias thought about his habit. How unimpressive it looked from the outside. How it refused drama and demanded discipline. And how it had made him, slowly and then all at once, unstoppable. Not because he never failed, but because he never, ever stopped moving. 10 minutes at a time. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more.